Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead. We're so glad to have you back at our videos. We appreciate you so very much. We love our community. Just to keep you updated on what's going on, right now we are running a class in water bath canning, and you can join anytime. It's an online class. You can take as long as you like to finish it, and there is a certificate at the end. It's 4 lessons and I think 15 short videos to help you learn more about water bath canning. We also have our new food storage book up in our bookstore, and the link to register for the class, the link to the bookstore are both below this video. So we have a lot going. Plus I'm working on a book right now, Dry Mix Meals in Jars. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping by the end of August I'll have that one done. It is return to school time. For us, our K-12 students in this area are already back in school at our university. Next week is the week of faculty meetings and preparations, and then the following week we start with classes. So here we go again. It's fall time, it's harvest time, there's a lot going on. As you know, we focus on self-reliance, food security, and emergency preparedness. And today we're going to do a little bit with food security with carrots. And I have right here 15 pounds of carrots that I've peeled, which is why my blouse is orange and my face probably looks like it has more freckles. These were juicy carrots and they kept splashing. So anyway, I thought I would wear orange so the splashes wouldn't hurt. I'm going to be doing 2 things with carrots. The thing that we need to remember whenever we process food is, what is the end use going to be? And with this, we're going to both freeze dry and dehydrate the carrots because I want some for making powder for our instant vegetable soups. I want some in little pieces that I can use for mirepoix, which you've heard me talk about that before in other videos. It is the mixture of carrots, celery, and onions that you saute as the foundation for a lot of really wonderful soups and stews and savory meals. And then I want some to use in soups and stews as an ingredient as well. So we're going to be doing grated and we are going to be doing sliced. Now these slices came out a little bit weird. There are lots of ways to get food prepared for the way that we need them to be. I am going to try out today my Ancrashroom mixer called the kitchen machine. I did go ahead and buy the slicing and dicing, whatever this is, attachment, and I'm not ready to put it in our Amazon store yet. I don't put things in our Amazon store that we have not personally purchased and used and like. And so far I'm a little bit iffy on this, so I think maybe today will tell the tale because it turns out things like this, and I think that's maybe a user problem, and that would be me. So I'm still getting used to it, but you can grate these with a box grater or with any other mechanical means that you may have. It does not have to be a setup like this, but I do want to demonstrate this for you. So what I have learned so far, and we're going to start with the shreds. Now with carrots, they need to be blanched for about 4 minutes. Now a lot of people skip that step. I have skipped that step, but what I have learned as I am getting more and more intense in our food preparation is that with vegetables, when I blanch them, the color stays better and they turn out better. The end result is better. So I'm pretty much going to blanch almost everything, except I still don't blanch onions. So we're going to blanch these little things, and I have a pot of water going in my Cuisinart pot, and this one I love, and this one is up on the Amazon store. What I have learned about this so far, and I did a few little trial runs obviously, is that I can't just put 1 carrot in, and if it slides this way, then what happens is the slices turn out like this, and sometimes they are thicker, and then it gets between this housing and the blade wheel, and it stops it just like that, and that I find is very annoying. So if I fill the compartment with carrots to where they can't wiggle off to the side. Jim, can you get in there?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Can I tip it maybe a little bit?
That will help. Yes, that helps much better.
Okay. Then it tends to work better, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm just going to turn this on. And I'm not, see, it stopped already. So I find that quite annoying. It's crazy. That's it.
It's time to pull the cover and find out what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to set up my KitchenAid. My good old faithful KitchenAid can do this just fine. So I'm going to get that set up and we'll be back. With good old faithful here, I am not sure that that is the problem of the anchor shroom. It might be my problem. I have looked at several YouTube videos. Maybe I did not look close enough. So I'm going to research it some more and keep trying it out. So I'm not going to write it off yet, but neither is it going up on our Amazon until I'm sure. Meanwhile, we're back to this one. So this one works just great. I've used this one or one like it for years and years and know that it's dependable in this with this attachment. So here we go. Wrong way. Okay, so we have this much. I'm now going to put this over in my pot over here, and we'll blanch these for 4 minutes, and then I'll show you what is next. Blanching is simply boiling the vegetables. Now, when I put those in, the water was boiling and now it is not. So once it comes back to a boil, I'm just going to time it for 4 minutes, and then I'm going to dump them out on a towel and let them drain, and then they will be ready to go in either freeze dryer trays or dehydrator trays. We were blanching those. I did another bowl of the shreds. First, we're going to bring these. These have been kind of tilted and draining back into the pot. So I'm going to bring them back over here now so that you can see, and dumping them right here. And then we will put these in. And these are now ready to go on the trays. All right, I think that's done. And here we go for some slices. Oh, I'm just going to put them in. They're going to come out every which way, but that's okay. These turned out every which way, and that's okay. They will be eaten, they will be used. As soon as this batch is done, I'll have another batch of the slices ready to go, and we will come back when everything is laid out on the trays so that you can see it. We will also blanch these 4 minutes just like we did the shreds. So we'll see you shortly. Well, here we are. We have 6 trays for the dehydrator and 4 for the freeze dryer. These are the coins. My fear is that they're going to dry in one big lump, and freeze dry in one big lump, and I won't be able to pull them apart. But if that happens, I'll just break them in pieces or maybe use those for powdering. So here's the upside and the downside to doing this. I have previously just purchased them in number 10 cans. I just checked the price on a number 10 can of carrots. This is much more than a number 10 can. It's $23. So Jim has spent about just under $15 for 15 pounds of carrots, and it would do easily a little bit more than 2 number 10 cans. So you can balance the cost, but this is very messy. It's a messy job. My feet are sticking to the floor. Carrots are sweet. They have a lot of sugar in them, and so I'm going to have to mop my floor. It's left my kitchen in quite a mess. I usually don't make a big mess when I cook, but this was especially messy for me. So will I do it again? You bet. Because I want to see how they turn out first. I will be able to use them even if all I do is powder everything, and I use a lot of carrot powder in the things that we do. So this concludes the preparation part. We will come back with the finished product. We're going to put this in the dehydrator at 150 degrees. It will probably take, I'm guessing, about 15 hours. These will go into the freeze dryer, and because I've not done carrots before, I'm guessing it will be at least 24 hours. So we will come back with the finished products. So see you soon.
Okay, you're on. You and the roses. Let's see what the roses look like. Yeah, okay.
So as you can see, Jim has been at it again. I've had a stressful few days with the opening of the university again for a new academic year, and he just does this. He just brings me roses, so it was just delightful. It has been a couple of days.
I wasn't even in the doghouse.
That's true. Once he went through with some roses, and what happened?
Yeah, the woman behind the cash register said, "Those are really nice roses. You must be in the doghouse."
Okay then. So it has been a couple of days because we've had rainstorms in the area, and whenever we have rainstorms, we have power outages. And so it shut the freeze dryer down a couple of times, which delayed. But as near as I can tell, it took about 21 hours for the freeze-dried carrots and about 14 hours for the dehydrator. And you know, I went for years and years and years without a freeze dryer. And so these dehydrated carrots turned out just fine. Now, as I suspected, they stuck together when I did them in the slices. But that is okay because they would rehydrate and separate just fine if you use them in soups or stews. Now, what I'm going to do with these is powder them. These are perfect for powdering. And then this is how the shreds turned out. They also stuck a little bit together. They're like a webbed network, but they would be just fine too. And so I'm going to powder this batch because I'm in desperate need of carrot powder. So these are going to be powdered. These I'm absolutely thrilled with, the freeze-dried. Look how lovely these turned out, even though they were stuck together. And after coming out of the boiling water, but even now I can just touch them and they will separate. They are dry like potato chips, and they are sweet and lovely, and these will be great for soups and stews or anything that I need sliced carrots for. And then the shreds turned out wonderful as well. And these are very separate, so that makes it really, really nice. What I will be using the shreds for is for my mirepoix, and that is carrots, onions, and celery together as the foundation for lots of savory foods. Like I just made a chili recipe the other day and started with the mirepoix, and it's generally what I use is 1/4 of a cup of these shredded carrots, 1/4 of a cup of onions, dehydrated or freeze-dried onions, and the same for celery. And then I rehydrate them and saute them in a little bit of ghee, and it just makes a fabulous foundation for savory dishes. So that is the story on the carrots, and I'm going to get them in the jars, and we'll come back and show you how I seal them up. But now I have something to report that I'm very happy about. If you remember, I had a lot of trouble when I would put the carrots in. It would just stop the cylinder from rolling around. And I was saying that this just didn't make sense to me, that I was disappointed. I wasn't ready to recommend it. How could anybody do engineering like this? It just didn't even make sense to me, especially such a good company. I really like my kitchen machine. And so I thought, okay, Pam, what do you teach your students? If a science lesson doesn't go right in their class, who do they turn to first? Don't blame the students. Look in the mirror. And so this was operator troubles because I forgot to put this on. And so this little disc fits right there like that and holds that in very securely. And I tried it with this in place. It works like a dream. So now I can wholeheartedly recommend this, and I will be putting this up on our Amazon store because these carrots were so much work. And I mentioned something about maybe you would just want to buy them. And I was checking the price on these. Augustin Farms is having a sale on some of their things, and it's the best sale that I've ever seen. And they're on Amazon, and I put, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the cans of vegetables in our store to make it easy for you. I think they even have cheese powder, which would be a really good idea too, so you might want to check our Amazon store and see if any of those things are of interest to you. And those are affiliate products. As you know, we make a very small commission, and I mean it's a small commission. But 50% of that goes to 2 hospitals. One is St. Jude and the other is Primary Children's in Salt Lake City, where my great-grandson spent the first 4 months of his life, and he's a perfect 2.5-year-old right now. So I'm going to jar these up, and we'll show you the jars when we get back, and I'll show you how we vacuum seal them. So we'll be back shortly. I always love this part of a project when we can see the yield and the fruits of our labors. So we got 2 quarts of the slices and 3 quarts of the shreds, and this is 1 full dehydrator full of carrots, probably 5 pounds of carrots. Isn't that amazing? So in any case, this is just now, with the amount of work and how fast I go through carrots, I have to admit that I bought some Augustin Farms carrots that were on sale, pretty good price, as well as some celery, because I just run out of everything I use for the mirepoix all the time. So now I have some backups. And you know, and it's perfectly fine. I'm not ashamed to tell you that even though I freeze dry and dehydrate until it's coming out of my ears, there are times when I buy things from the store as well, especially these days when we are trying to be opportunists, and when we see a good buy, we strike. So that's what I did. Now, these 2 are already vacuum sealed. Now, when you are drying vegetables, whether you freeze dry them or dehydrate them, you do not have to do what is called conditioning. Not with vegetables. Vegetables get very, very dry. With fruits, we do, and I'll address that in a different video. But either we can vacuum seal if you have one of these machines. If you don't, get some oxygen absorbers. This one would take either a 200 or a 300, but I don't do that. You don't need to do both. This is a little attachment that goes over the top. This is a Weston, but the attachment set did not come with my Weston. It is a Food Saver attachment set. So we got lucky that the hoses fit. So here we go. So checking, sound just like these. So this is sealed. Now, you may remember from our video on vegetables that I have this cute little set of gingham lids that I use for my powders. The problem is that, and a lot of you know, because you have the same problem, that this little attachment doesn't work super well, and sometimes it just won't seal. And so because I don't want to fuss with having to do it twice, my routine now is to put the regular lid on the top, and then another one upside down over the top of that one, so it has a double lid. And that extra bit of height with the lid seems to work most of the time. Let's see. And it worked, so we're good to go. So, and then I print up a label on my computer and it will say carrots. One of the things that I'm really anxious to find out is, last time I made carrot powder, I used the baby carrots, freeze-dried them, I think it was freeze-dried, and powdered them, and the powder turned white within a month. And it tasted funny. So now that these are vacuum sealed, the other one was vacuum sealed as well, but I no longer buy baby carrots. I will only buy the long carrots. I wish I could grow my own. I've just not ever been able to be successful in doing that. But I'm going to be very anxious to see if this holds, because these are blanched. It should hold the color. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and we'll check back on that. So thank you for being with us for our carrot adventure. It's fall time. It's getting time to think about harvest and putting up food. And I always love that time of year. So we'll be doing some more of this type of thing. And we will see you at our next video.